It's the Germans. That is what we're going to be talking about to start this video off. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be looking at what the German government is doing in regards to dumping BTC at a time when there's very little volume in the cryptocurrency space. We're also going to be looking at Bitcoin, of course, and applying some broader context to it. So it's still our opinion that what the cryptocurrency market is experiencing is a pullback in what is a broader uptrend. I think the best days for crypto are ahead of us. And actually now is the perfect time, certainly given the negative sentiment that the cryptocurrency space is currently going through, to be interested in this market. You do not want to be buying cryptocurrencies when everybody else is. You want to be buying them when nobody else is. What is the sentiment when the market is at a low? It's a very negative one. What is the sentiment when the market's at a high? Where are we at the moment? Ultimately, I do think we have a pretty exciting time ahead of us. And we get that from a number of different factors. Of course, technically, when we look at the charts, macroeconomically, and sort of looking at the markets from a cross-analysis point of view. So we're going to be saving that for tomorrow. What we're going to be doing in this video is we're going to be talking about recent news that's kicking off. So we have the German government continuing to sell Bitcoin that they've seized on exchanges. They're literally dumping, not even OTC at this point, onto the market. Kind of strange. I'm not really sure why perhaps they're doing that. Maybe they're in cahoots with some of the banks or the ETF offerers out there that are trying to gobble up that Bitcoin. Also, we have news that Mt.Gox has started to transfer a little bit of Bitcoin. Of course, we know the paybacks are coming. Whether those paybacks are going to be in Bitcoin or cash, I think was optional. And we have looked at the dreaded sell pressure of Mt.Gox actually not being that dreaded in as much as what people have made it out to be. So there's quite a negative sentiment right now. And there's a couple of negative sort of incidents, German governments, of course, the Mt.Gox thing, that are really leaning on the cryptocurrency space at a time where it's got very little volume suspending it. And the markets will typically go with a path of less resistance. When you look for a breakup, you want it on volume. When you look for a breakdown, the volume doesn't need to be there and actually can be the very reason why something is breaking down. Again, I do think this is just a broader pullback in what is a pullback in what is a broader uptrend. We're going to be looking at some comments from Peter Schiff, the famous gold bug and, of course, non-believer in Bitcoin. I think there's a place for both gold and Bitcoin, perhaps. And he, of course, is talking about impending doom, along with Robert Kiyosaki, who literally probably yesterday was only talking about impending glory. I like Robert Kiyosaki. I like his books. But I think from a market point of view, he's not the apex to follow. We're going to be looking at Bitcoin against gold, and then we're going to be looking at some Ethereum news. So, of course, today is the 4th of July. So, happy 4th of July for those of you who celebrated it. So, those of you in the United States. I'm sure not everybody celebrates in the United States, but happy holiday. Of course, it is polling day in the UK. So, I don't really know who you guys are voting for. Don't leave it in the comment section. But there's a lot going on. Markets, again, with it being a holiday, very little volume. And, of course, we've got events that are going to tip things to the kind of underside, if you will. So we're going to be talking about all that. Let's kick things off, as promised, with the Germans and the US German government. I shouldn't say the Germans. It's not the German people. It's, of course, the government. So the German government have sent $738 million in Bitcoin to exchanges over the last 2 weeks. Now, we knew this was taking place, but in the kind of recent future, the German government transferred 3,000 BTC worth $174 million out again, of which 1,300 BTC, 75 million was transferred to Bitstamp, Coinbase, and Kraken. German government currently hold 40,000 Bitcoin worth $2.3 billion. Now, I don't know whether they're selling this. Now, I do hope the German government is planning on paying the people back with those funds that they're now raising through selling Bitcoin. Although my guess would be they're probably not. They're probably keeping it in their coffers to fund whatever kind of woke agenda it is that is popular at the time. We'll leave that there. But so this is obviously a key event taking place. This is happening at a time where there's very little volume in the cryptocurrency space. I mean, if we look at Bitfinex, we're going to go down the sort of chart. So obviously you've got Coinbase, probably the most popular exchange. You can see on this pullback, volume has continued to decline. If we look at Bitstamp, again, no volume. If we look at Bitfinex, which we were just on, no volume. And of course, Binance, I mean, there's just no volume here. So these events that are taking place at a time when there's no volume to kind of repel them, if you will. It's not great. The markets go with a path of least resistance. But when that volume does reoccur, and if we look at something like historic volatility, you can see volatility at a real low point. There's a bit of an uptick today, but this is the kind of breeding ground, if you will, for a substantial move, which I do think is coming. We still have that broader thesis on Bitcoin that this is just a sort of pullback in what is the road to 151k. I think you probably get to 100k by the end of the year. And obviously, when we look at things like Total 2, still very bullish on this. You haven't ran that that left shoulder yet. I still believe this is shouldering structure. You've not even taken out the prior low that you'll ultimately sort of use to take the total market cap of the cryptocurrency space at $3.8 trillion. It aligns with a lot of the other things that we look at here on the channel. So this is happening. It is what it is. The sentiment is crap at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. I get it. I know. I am predominantly in the altcoin market. And everybody wants the kind of volatility to the upside. They want those massive gains, but nobody's willing to incur and go through the kind of volatility to the downside or the risk that's associated with the cryptocurrency space. It is what it is. It's inherent to this space. You really need to be in it to win it. And of course, we do have Mt.Gox wallet makes a small Bitcoin move, including the recipient exchange Bitbank shows Arcrum. So lots of kind of sell events going on. Of course, the bears, whenever this happens, come out the woodworks, because why wouldn't they seize the day after being so wrong for so long? As you can see, Bitcoin is at a critical support. If it doesn't hold, look out below. It's a long way down. When did Peter Schiff become, and I like Peter, by the way, no beef, become a technical analyst? I don't think he ever has been, but all of a sudden he is. And what he's showing there is a very rudimentary support line. He's not even showing it well. That is here. And actually, you don't short support, Peter. So it's got to take place first. Of course, he's came out the woodworks. And the thing is, Bitcoin is in an uptrend against gold. And in my opinion, is going to continue to outperform gold. And we get that from dividing Bitcoin by gold. Not only has it been an uptrend, lots of our targets been made. We do expect that continuation. Also, you've got Robert Kiyosaki. Boom, going bust. Technical charts indicate biggest crash in history coming. What technical charts? Price of real estate, stocks, bonds, gold, silver, Bitcoin, and Bitcoin crash. Great news. Good time to buy. Bargains will follow. Technical charts indicate major long-term bull market cycle will follow starting bull climb in late 2025, raising prices for years. I think we're here now, by the way, guys. I think you are going to get a crash at some point. The yield curve is predicting that, but I don't think it's here. We've continued to say that. Lots of targets for the markets have been met. If you look at the DAX, we got that right. SPY. We've got Amazon. We're still waiting to play out, so on and so forth. So this bull market cycle is the boom gold, silver, Bitcoin investors have been waiting for. Their patience will be rewarded, so on and so forth. And here's some price predictions he gives: 10,000 or 15,000 pound gold, dollar gold, $111 silver, and 10 million Bitcoin. He's just thrown them out of nowhere. Although we are very bullish on gold, and of course, remember, Bitcoin is in an uptrend against gold. Lots of people really turned on gold here, but we said this is just a pullback on its way to our head and shoulders target that we had pre-break. And then, of course, there is a sort of bigger macro target for gold, and Bitcoin's in an uptrend against that. I think stocks will do well as well, because what is the likes of the Japanese yen? Well, it's a short, or what's the likes of the Nikkei? It's a short yen trade. And we've been having a great time, certainly with the stock market and all the kind of predictions we gave. Something like the DAX made our target. Obviously, we can go on and on and on in regards to targets being made for this. So to sort of close things off, what I want to do is look at the ETF news. Now, I did say an ETF, according to Reuters, was allegedly coming today. Of course, I forgot it was the 4th of July because I'm not an American, although I love the Americans. Bitwise just filed for an amendment S1 for spot ETH, which wasn't due until July the 8th, so in a few days' time. Prob just want to get it off their plate, and from what I hear, last round of comments were literally nothing, took 0 time to update, also no fee yet. Prob do this next weekish. When moon? No one really knows why the SEC is taking their sweet time with these, given how light comments were. These could have easily been trading by now. Could be one problem: issuers slowly down process, or just summertime lazy people on vacay. Again, no volume. Not sure. That said, all indicating launch on this month. More details to come. And it's very interesting, you know, we're one of the few people that have highlighted this. The kind of flow of money into the market is represented by ETPs, exchange traded products. This is Grayscale's Bitcoin Trust, which we got right. Perfectly right. I actually traded this myself. This is ETH Trust. And now we're looking at like Grayscale Digital Large Cap Trust, so the altcoin market. It's time to shine. So hang in there, guys. Crypto's just suffering from a real lack of interest. There's seasonality involved. There's a typical kind of halving cycles and where we're at right now. Bitcoin's actually ahead of schedule. Altcoin's doing very much what they do. I still believe this is an amazing time to be a cryptocurrency investor. And if you don't take part in the market. We're not a financial advisor here. All we're doing is giving you our best take, and people need to give it enough time to be right. So that's it from me, ladies and gentlemen. A lot going on. I look forward to seeing you all in the next one. Thanks a lot for watching. If you're not already a subscriber, do consider becoming one, and I will see you all in the next one. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. See you in the next.